Hey everyone, this is Barry from Nature's Health Coach. natureshealthcoach.net and natureshealthcoach@gmail. Today I want to talk about diet. Most people, when they hear the word diet, they want to freak out. They think it's the end of the world. It's like, oh my goodness, I gotta change everything and I gotta do it overnight. Well, that's not the case. And of course there are weight gain diets, there's weight loss diets, changes in your eating habits to help you achieve a goal of your weight. It doesn't mean that's the answer, but that's the intended goal. But I realized some years ago that there's a better term to use, and it's only 4 letters, and it's more palatable because it makes more sense. Instead of diet, the other word I have is 4 letters, and it's called menu. What's your menu? What do you eat every day? What do you eat in a week? Most people typically eat about the same things every week. You might go out to eat, you might do a carry-out or something like that, but typically, for those of you, especially for those of you that, prepare your own foods at home, you eat pretty much the same menu. The thing is, are we eating foods within that menu that are good for us? A lot of people are eating a lot of processed foods. They're eating foods that are full of chemicals, agricultural chemicals. They're eating GMOs, genetically modified organisms. They're eating foods that's coming from far away that doesn't even have the nutritional value because it's coming from so far away, and they don't think about that. You might eat foods that are considered healthy, but it doesn't even mean that they're good for you particularly. There are things that don't resonate with me, and I typically don't eat them. Once in a blue moon, I might have some organic corn chips. It's rare. I don't eat peanut butter, peanuts. It's rare that I might have one of those, like an organic cup, those peanut butter cups, but it's rare because they just don't agree with me. They make me tired. So I don't eat that stuff. Wheat doesn't always agree with me. Wheat can make me tired, especially around lunchtime. And for a lot of people it does that because of how it hits your adrenals. What wheat does to our adrenal glands. Because that's kind of like the lull in the day for our adrenals, is like lunchtime to 2 or something like that. But, it's getting in tune, more in tune with what feels good in our bodies. How well do we digest it? What kind of energy do we get from it? Do we feel good after eating it? Do we feel tired? And these are things that people need to consider more in their menu each day. They might eat something because they really enjoy it, but it doesn't mean it's good for your system. Just because it tastes good doesn't mean it is good for you. So that's something to consider. And when it's time to make changes, it doesn't mean that the changes have to be huge and overnight. You start making changes, like I did. Back around 1990, I started making changes. And the first thing I really did was cut out all that pasta I used to eat, because that's what I knew from growing up. Plate of Prince spaghetti and tomato sauce. Even when I was on my own, a lot of times I made my own tomato sauce, but it was the Prince spaghetti and the white bread. So you got all this white flour. not good for your blood sugar, not good for your triglycerides, etc. And it's a quick burn too. So that was like the first thing I did was cut out that, and then over the years I was making changes. It wasn't just, you know, I made changes over time, and since then my weight's down. I wasn't like obese or anything, but I took off about 15-20 pounds and started exercising and riding a bike. Got into cycling and changed my ways and eat more. I support the farmers markets. I started doing that in 2000, and now it's 2025. I still go to the markets every week, and if I'm on a road trip, on a camping trip, I try and work my trips around if there's a farmer's market nearby, and I'll go support them and see what's going on there, because it's fun. They're all different vendors, different foods, whatever. So it's good to support your locals, eat local, get fresher foods that have more nutritious value to it, or nutritional value, and serve your body better. People don't realize that a lot of produce that's in a store is from somewhere far away. It could be 2,500 miles, 4,000 miles, it could be 12,000 miles. And besides the fact it's not good for the environment to move all that food around, it loses its nutritional value. So it's best to, whenever possible, support your local farmer, especially those that try to do their best to keep their food free from any agricultural chemicals that are synthetic. There are organic ones, but any sort of synthetic chemicals are minimal in using them, because they only do it when they feel they really, really have to. And of course, bless your food and give thanks for it. But supporting fresh local food is more nutritious and serves our body better, and helps us be healthier, because we need that nutritional value. 2 days after harvesting the food, you start losing your vitamins and enzymes, and then after that you start losing your minerals and antioxidants, bioflavonoids, things like that. So the longer that food's been sitting there, the older it is, the less nutritional value it is. And my first job way back when was produce. So I have insight. I was 14 when I started doing produce, so that's a few years ago, just a few. And so when I walk into a store, when I've worked in health food stores and I see produce, I know what's going on. I know that romaine, might have been pulled out of the box that was sitting in the walk-in cooler for 2 or 3 days from the day it was delivered, and now it's on the shelf, and it could be there, it's sitting out for display. It could be there for 2 or 3 days before someone actually buys it. So what they have to do is they have to trim the butt, get that rust off, the oxidation, take off any outer leaves, and then put it back out, because they got to get something for it. They can't just throw the whole thing out. They got to get some sort of value. A lot of times produce is a loss, unfortunately, but it is. But even before that food gets delivered to the store to go into the walk-in cooler, there's travel time. It might take 3 days to go from Watsonville, California, across the country to, say, a Chicago, Indianapolis distributor to get to Michigan, Ohio, whatever. So, by the time you get your food, it could be a week, 9 days old, something like that. One day I was at work, and it was wintertime, and I'm looking across into the produce cooler, and I see a plastic pouch of grapes, organic grapes. So I go over there to find out where they're coming from. Being someone that's lived in California, I pretty much have an idea of, when things are harvested. And I'm like, there's no way. This is California, unless it's been sitting in a cooler for a long time. And it came from South Africa. Get on my phone. 12,000 miles. Really? Yeah. Food shouldn't be shipped that far. That's not good for the environment. The food gets old. I was reading years ago that it takes 7 to 10 days to get food from Chile to the U.S. Probably because it's on ship. I mean, that's old. And all the fuel it takes to get it there, too. So, what we eat, where we get it from, how fresh it is, makes a difference in our health and how well we function. How good we feel, how good our skin looks, and staying hydrated too makes a difference, and eating healthy fats makes a difference too in how well your skin looks. Which is kind of like why you feed your dog a good healthy oil, like a fish oil, to help not only with the inflammation and stuff and brain function, but how shiny the coat is and how much healthier their skin is. So there are different things that make a difference as to how well we function, how we feel, and the time of day we eat too. Sometimes eating too early isn't ready. Your bodies aren't ready for it because we've only been out of bed for a short time, and our bodies haven't really gotten going yet. You're going to take on a meal, like at 8 o'clock or something like that. Maybe if you work out early in the morning, so your body's revved up, okay, fine. But to eat something big in the morning isn't necessarily, especially something dense and heavy, isn't necessarily the best thing either. Usually, I try and wait till about 10 a.m. before I eat something, and then even it's fruit, especially if I can get local fruit, yeah. Something that's light, but it'll tie me over for a bit until I have lunch. But it's said that if you were to take traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurvedic medicine, I think it's the traditional Chinese medicine was the best time to eat is between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., 10 a.m. and noon, and then Ayurvedic medicine is noon to 2 p.m. So basically, your hand's on the wheel, as we were taught in school, driving school, is the best time to eat because your digestive fire is at its highest. It's at its strongest. That's when it's the best time to eat. A lot of people are eating after 6 o'clock p.m., 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. It's not a good time to do that. And then an hour or 2 hours later, they're in bed. We shouldn't be eating that late. We should be eating, I try to start making dinner, if I can, by 4 or 5 o'clock. So that way I'm hopefully done by 6. Just depends on my schedule. I once met a man who, I went to a Krishna church one time, just for the heck of it, just to see what's going on there. And I met a guy there, real nice man, and he says he eats his last meal by 3 p.m. I'm like, really? And then I remember, and like, oh, I get it. You follow Ayurvedic. You go, yeah, absolutely. So, the reason is it's the best time to digest your food. So, don't be afraid to eat at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon and have plenty of time to digest your food while your body's still feeling pretty good. Because the later the day, the more tired you are, the harder it is to digest. And digestion is one of the biggest energy consumptions. Okay, it takes a lot of energy to digest your food. So it's better to eat earlier rather than later. So those are just some hints and tips and thoughts, and you can ponder them. Give you something to think about. Just want you to feel good, be healthy. I don't know if you're going to live long, but hopefully prosper. No, it's, live long and prosper. I definitely want you to be healthy while you're alive. I don't eat healthy to live a long life, though I'd like to. I do it so that I'm healthy now, and if for some reason I get sick, well, recovery is easier. than having a toxic body, and it's hard for the body to heal itself. So look at it that way. Because some people go, oh, you just want to live to 100, 120. It's like, no, I want to be healthy while I'm alive, and if I do get sick, or maybe somebody breaks a bone or whatever, you heal faster because you've taken better care of yourself. So you can heal better, heal faster, and get on your feet sooner rather than later. So anyway, that's the way it is. And it's January of 2025, and I wish you the best. And you want some coaching? natureshealthcoach@gmail.com. The website's natureshealthcoach.net. And signing off. Thank you. Namaste.